Good Friday afternoon from windy Acre Bees, and you can see the girls are busy today. It is a beautiful day today. It's actually cooling off really quick, but you can see this is like a summertime thing. They're just busy as anything, and the reason for that is I'll show you in just a couple minutes here why. But my reasoning for this video today is someone asked about a week ago, hey, how come everybody is saying to feed 2 to 1, but you're now going back to feeding the 1 to 1 sugar ratio for your bees? So I tried to explain it a little bit as much as I could on Gab, but for anybody else who's watching this, I want to explain to you exactly why I'm doing this. So you need to evaluate your colonies, especially this time of year, every single week, and I can't stress that enough. When you evaluate your colonies, you can either take written or mental notes. I kind of do both. And you need to give your bees what your bees need in each individual colony. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. This colony is our Lauren hive. This was our last swarm catch at the end of May of this year. And they have in that white box every frame, all 10 frames, packed jam full, every cell full of winter stores. So if we were to get a snowstorm tomorrow, they are good for the winter time. And that tells me that now I can, I don't have to feed them a 2 to 1 sugar ratio anymore, because I'm not in a time crunch with this particular colony, but I want full of brood. I want as much brood as I want in there as I can for the next month, and I want as many bees in there as I can get, up to 40,000 bees to make it through the winter time. So every individual colony of yours has to be evaluated differently, and you guys need to kind of treat that as such, and work your bees as such. So we'll go down the line here. This one here, this particular colony here, huge population of bees over the last couple weeks. Could use a little bit more, but they're getting there. The brood is in there, but the box, the white box, has not got completely full of stores. There's a lot of nectar and sugar water stored in there, but it's not capped off, and they're still bringing it in. So this one here would get a 2 to 1 in hive feeding, whereas this one over here, I don't have to do a 2 to 1. I'm feeding them 1 to 1 to simulate a nectar flow and get those that queen laying brood when they already have stores in there. This one here, they're kind of average. They kind of got a good stores, good food. Our Flynn colony, I don't need to say much about them. That super is full. That bottom, that center box is pretty much full, and they have a great population of bees. She is still laying really good. So what I'm feeding them now at a 1 to 1 sugar ratio is basically just supplement. They're eating that for themselves and feeding themselves and feeding the queen with it. They're not touching their stores. It's funny here, we got a drone here that's walking around with a worker attached to her. She's trying to boot them out of there. But anyways, same thing over here with this colony here. This is our Reagan colony, and this has been my strongest colony, my second strongest colony as far as population, but they're consuming as much food as they were bringing in because of that population. So I needed them to get stores in there then, so I started putting the 2 to 1 sugar water to them. The reason for all this hustle and bustle, I'll show you in a second. This colony here, I requeened this colony about 2 months ago. Fantastic queen. I'm very happy with it. From betterbee.com, they did a great job. They do great jobs raising their queens, northern queens for us. So that's it. Pay attention to your colonies. Each individual colony of yours is different. They have different needs. They have things you need to give to them, and they have things that they need to be taken away from them sometimes. So pollen substitute might have to be backed off a little bit if you're still continuously raising a crap load of drones at this time of year, and you don't need that. If they think there's a big nectar flow coming in there and they're got a lot of protein, the queen will keep producing drones. Whereas you cut the protein back, once protein gets cut back in a colony, the drones start getting cut back as well. And we gave them a treat today. Basically, we introduced a 1 to 1 sugar water ratio to these 3 feeders here. Look at all these girls. They are just, they think they just hit the jackpot, which they did today. And we gave them the 1 to 1, simulating a nectar flow. So basically, I can accomplish, on a nice day like today, I can accomplish 2 things. The colonies that I have over there have, some of them have 2-to-1 sugar water, but now they can come out here and they can get 1-to-1. So some of the colonies are actually getting both right now. So just a little bit of an explanation, just to keep an eye on your colonies, and if they need a 2-to-1 to boost up their stores, absolutely give it to them. Generally, the rule of thumb this time of year is a 2-to-1, and I have no issues with that. I do it myself, especially right after the dirt, or when the dearth is going on, you know, in August, September. But right now I have a couple colonies that need the brood, so I feed 1-to-1, and that's accomplishing this today by what I'm doing here and feeding them. So I hope that answers your question good. If you have any more questions, you know, by all means ask me and everybody else, and do what's best for you and for your bees. I always tell everybody, don't do what everybody else does for their bees. Do what you need to do for your bees. And by doing that, when you run into a problem, just find someone on Gab, or a beekeeper, a local beekeeper or somebody. Ask them, say, hey, I got this problem. What can I do about it? Go ahead and try it. A lot of these are time-tested, you know, different tactics that we use for raising our bees. And see if it works for you and for that colony. If it doesn't, then you need to try something else. So everybody, have a great rest of your weekend. We're going to do inspections tomorrow. Check out the Flynn hive, and we'll probably do another video. So have a good night, everybody.